On the dark night of 14th November 1995 in Beijing, China, bus number 375 was headed on its route towards its last destination. But as fate would have it, the bus never made it to its destination. The bus consisted of a middle-aged driver who was accompanied by a young female ticket inspector, a young couple, an old lady, and a young boy. The young couple sat right behind the driver, whilst the boy and the old lady sat one behind the other on the single seats next to the door. It was a cold winter night, and there were no pedestrians or cars on the road. After a while, the driver spotted two shadows standing in the middle of the road. The driver started to curse them, and said, "Who the hell is standing in the middle of the road at this time?" They were waving at the bus, and eventually after some persuasion from the ticket inspector, as she said, "It's the last bus. If they miss it, then there would be no other bus available. Just let them in." The driver agreed to stop. When the passengers were entering the bus, they realized, instead of the two shadows they had seen, it was actually three people. The figure in the middle couldn't even stand by itself, and was heavily conscious, and had to be halted between the shoulders of the other two. It looked like as if he was drunk. His face was covered under his cloak. The new passengers were wearing strange, old-fashioned clothes. This frightened the previous passengers that had been sitting. However, the ticket inspector reassured them that they must be actors and doing an old play, as there were a lot of films being made in the area and they probably didn't have time to move their costumes. She continued by saying, "I've seen this all the time, don't worry." This gave the passengers a sense of comfort, except the old lady, who was still very nervous and kept peering back at them. The young couple got off first. After a while, the old lady suddenly interrupted and accused the young boy of stealing her wallet as she had entered. However, he denied the accusations, calling her crazy. The old woman asked the bus driver to stop on the next bus stop since it had a police station. After getting off the bus, the old lady let out a sigh of relief as she watched the bus go away. The young boy started yelling at her and said, "Why are you standing here? Didn't you want to go to the police and accuse me of stealing?" The old lady exclaimed, "The police? No, be grateful, I saved your life." The young boy seemed puzzled. She explained that she had been eyeing the new passengers as they had given her a weird vibe, and since a gust of wind blew inside and their cloaks were lifted, and she had seen that they had no feet, they were just floating. The young boy was shocked after hearing this. They both went to report this incident to the police. However, they didn't believe them and just thought they were making stuff up. I mean, what would you do? The next day, the bus company issued a statement saying that bus 375 was missing along with the driver and the ticket inspector. The police suddenly remembered the old lady and the young boy yesterday coming in and reporting the bus as to be haunted. They decided to then interview them. On the third day, the police discovered the missing bus in a water reservoir about 100 kilometers away from its destination. Inside the bus were three badly decomposed corpses. This was very unusual and out of the blue, since the bus did not have enough petrol to go that far after a whole day's travel. Secondly, the petrol tank was filled with fresh blood instead of fuel. Furthermore, the corpses found were too decomposed for just 48 hours. Even if it was summer, the process of decomposition would not have been this quick. An autopsy confirmed that there had been no intentional meddling with the bodies, as well as even after the police went through all the security cameras set up around the various entrances to the reservoir, they found nothing out of the ordinary. To this day, it remains an unsolved mystery.